All right, welcome back to another episode of Ran Out of Talent. I'm your host, Joe Zer Jr., and with me is my co-host, Zach Donathan. How's it going tonight, Zach?
Uh, Pretty good. It's been it's been a pretty relaxing night.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean it's been nice. We didn't have to do anything extra. We didn't have to cram anything in before dinner or after dinner. We just hung out as a family, and now
that's
get to talk to you guys. So yeah,
yeah,
it's a good day.
that
How
is
about you?
nice. Um, I'm doing all right. I got back super late from the enduro. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I worked a little less than a half a day today. I'm just like, you know what? If I keep going at how tired I am, I'm just going to make mistakes. So I came home, played with the puppy a little bit, took a nap, and then yeah, got up, watched. Beth and I never watched season 6 of Better Call Saul. So that's like still kind of brand new to us. So we've been watching that and we're halfway through that one. Yeah, it's man, a lot of RC things I've been paying attention to this last weekend, but yeah, it's I mean,
Is the Better Call Saul the spinoff from Breaking Bad?
yeah, it's the prequel. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah, it's before Gutenberg or whatever he went by. Hal from Malcolm in the Middle. It was before him.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg. Why am I thinking Gutenberg? I've watched that series 3 times. Lee checking in. I was going, Lee. Yeah. Um, that's a good series, and it's like you don't even think of oh, Lee saying Mike said thanks, Zach. Um, you
Ooh.
don't even like I mean, there's a correlation between Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, but when you're through the first couple seasons, you don't even think about Breaking Bad, even though Fring is in almost every episode. Um, yeah, so a lot's happened.
Mm.
Lots happened. A lot of races that were under promised and over delivered. A lot of races that were over promised and under delivered. We got a new date for the 2026 Vintage Championships. Couple of little new releases, all that. I'm still waiting to get my B7.1. It got delayed for some reason, but it should be here on Wednesday. I
Two
don't,
weeks.
yeah, I don't think I'll have it built for. We're we're finishing out. So Southern decided to run 2 point series this winter instead of one. So we're finishing out the first point series this Saturday. Oh, Lee, I'm into vintage. Zach is not. Um, but anyways, there's a race Saturday. I don't think I'll have the car built. I don't build fast. We'll talk about that in a second here. So yesterday, because I went to Omaha, Nebraska to the Hobbyplex. I came in Saturday because it's a 6 hour drive. I'm not waking up at 1 a.m. and driving 6 hours. That's stupid. Um, but we did the 6 hour enduro. That was so much fun. So the rules are, well, I get there, I see the layout. I'm like, all right, that's a good layout. You know, they were racing on road on Saturday, and there were a couple guys getting a feel for the layout, you know, racing whatever classes they run.
Hmm.
And then yesterday morning, we get in the door. I set up my pit Saturday night, and you know, Sunday morning, 7 a.m., we get in the door. We get our kit at 7:30, and we had a couple hours to build the thing. We did we did not get any real practice with the car. Actually, none. We got about a half lap because so we went against your advice and Zach's advice in the diffs. And we were told by people there to put 20 million in the rear diff.
Oh,
So guess what happens when we hit the trigger?
it does a donut.
Yep. That's all that happened. Luckily, the rear diff was fairly easy to access. And when you pulled it up, we didn't have to clean anything. It just pulled out clean. And then we put the Kyosho grease, but we went heavier in the front. We put in Tamiya putty.
Mm.
And it was fairly close to being a spool. And I personally really like that myself. So we barely make it to the line for the start, but we made it to the start. So when we built, I put together the diffs and the tires. Brandon Wynn was also on our team. He put together the shocks. Jason Bollinger put together the tub because that's a one-man job. You can't just stand over them and drop through. Yeah, it doesn't work. And then Matt came in right as we finished building it because he took a red eye from California. Matt had a motorcycle drift event that he had to cover this weekend. So the second that was done, he brought the motorhomes back to his house and then took a red eye out to Omaha. So he got in and then he took it for a lap. He's like, "What's wrong with this thing?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I did what I was told." He's like, "This is terrible." One thing that was cool, they upgraded us to the cheap oil-filled shocks that you'd get on that you'd put on like a Mini Cooper.
Okay.
So we put 4K fluid in there, and that seemed to work out well. We're already planning for next year. I'm gonna buy a TT01 and figure out a little more chassis setup because our car was good, but I'm sitting there like I kind of wanted 5K in the rear end for fluid. I kind of wanted to go a little heavier than the Kyosho grease in that rear diff.
You could do 10K.
Yeah, but just dumb little things. So but we get out there.
It depends a lot on the tire.
Yeah. So the tires, I don't know if you've ever put together the tires, but they suck because you have to put together the foams.
I did Euro Truck tires, so I don't know about those tires.
So those tires are lower profile than Euro Truck. They're a low profile. They're fairly close style to a touring car tire.
Yeah, but the Euro Truck ones weren't that bad to put together.
Yeah, so these ones, the foams, they just come on a flat sheet.
Oh.
And you have to put them together, like glue them.
Oh, interesting.
And one of the foams wouldn't glue, so we hit it with the zip kicker. Mm-hmm. That was a mistake. Big mistake.
Did it eat the foam?
No. It made the glue hard as a rock, so that tire had like a rock hard spot in it. Anthony's saying we should have swapped out some Huddy 28s. Oh, Jacob checking in. Lee's wondering about the motor temp. It worked very well. Jason printed out a 40 millimeter fan mount for it. And that worked out really well, having a 40 millimeter fan. But we got out there. Within 5 minutes, we had the lead, and we had the lead till about 8-10 minutes. And then elbows out racing started. And I knew it was going to happen. I mean, there's 16 cars on the track. That is a lot.
Sometimes it's better just to be patient and let somebody take themselves out.
Oh, because
you got to finish the race.
Yep. That was my that was my strategy. Anthony's wondering if you've tried your car yet.
It'll be about a month.
Yeah. But so this was I screwed around with Mini Coopers way back in the day. This was my first time running a TT01. So Matt does an hour, then Brandon does an hour, and we're running in the top 3 for the first, except for when I did a pit for Brandon. I'm like, oh, I screwed us so bad. Somehow the transponder was on the other side of the car, but when I was changing the battery, somehow the transponder came unplugged. Jeremy's wondering how anxious was Brandon when the body started getting scuffed up. Oh man, he had to let his anxiety go about that really quick because that thing was totaled. Fritz checking in. So they ran the first 2 hours. Jason ran the third, but so we got the transponder plugged back in. We missed 4 minutes right there, but we're still battling for third place at that point. And then I was out marshaling because each team had a marshal. We had even number teams marshal for an hour and a half, and odd number teams marshal for an hour and a half. So when Jason was out running, I was out marshaling, and they did a pit stop on him, and they unplugged the transponder, so I didn't feel as bad. I don't want to say they unplugged it, and I don't want to say something made that unplug, and I don't know how. Because, like I said, it was on the other side of the car, and when I go ahead.
I mean, you had to have a loose connection or something. It's like my transponder's hard to pull out.
When I pushed it down, there was resistance because I pushed it in the second time. There was resistance when I pushed it down the second time.
Maybe it's all the vibration and stuff. You get hit with
getting hits. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, just like a little super glue on top next time.
Yeah. That's
something.
One of the plans. We have all kinds of plans. We're going to have built servo savers sitting there. So, we are listening to people. We stripped a servo saver. Well, we glued them. We glued the servo savers together. It's like, we want maximum steering. Oh man. They're saying they lost sound. We have sound on our end. Check. Oh, yeah, I have sound. We have sound.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the little 3 dots on the bottom near our picture. So we have sound.
Okay.
Yeah, you have sound.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going.
Okay, sorry about that. So I went up for my hour stint. And I'll tell you what, driving that car, the sauce, goes away at like the 13-minute, because we were doing 20-minute battery runs. The sauce goes away at about 13 minutes, and the car is
resource.
No, we don't. Well, next year we I might build a sauce pad to where I get a piece of carpet and I dump like 2 bottles of sauce on it.
It's too much.
No, and then we just do the rear tire, just do a quick zing, because that the battery change and the tire sauce, we got that down to about 1 minute and 20 seconds, but that's too long to, come in at 13. You had to do at least 20 minutes. So and again, a tire sauce pad, something to where you can grab the car, hit it, and do a burnout, and go, something that takes 10
I think that's fine, but 2 bottles of sauce is too much.
The carpet's going to be wet.
It's going to drip off. You don't want that much sauce. You better build a border around it.
That's what I mean. Yes. It's going to be a piece of wood with carpet with a border.
I'm sure you can get some black carpet, just like a 18-inch by 12-inch.
Sure, something.
Mhm.
But the car drove reasonably well.
Yeah, after you took out that 20 million in the rear.
Yeah. Oh, we got that out before the start of the race. Barely
But you
got it.
lost practice time on it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That was tough. So I did my hour stint with the car and it drove well. The thing that the hardest part about it was the straightaway. Because it's a crappy servo saver. It really is. It's a terrible servo saver. So the car, no, depending on how you got hit the lap prior, because you're getting hit almost every lap. I mean, I had a few clean laps, don't get me wrong, but the car would drift one way or the other down the straightaway. And if you barely touched that wheel on the straightaway, the car violently turned to that side, no matter which, like the
Did you
small,
guys glue the sidewalls?
a lot.
Glue them up taller next time.
You can't go to the surface. We got
You should
all
be
the
able
way.
to go to the edge of the edge though.
Yep. We got all the way up to the edge.
Oh, yeah. Did you clean the sidewalls ever?
Not when the race started. No.
Maybe try that next time. Well, somebody's
Yep.
doing that, or you clean the sidewalls of the tires.
That's not a bad idea.
'Cause that builds up and it grabs.
Yeah, as Jeff's saying, it sounds like you need one of those stupid giant but it's like in the infield, it handled fairly well, but it was a slower reacting car and it drove fine. And when you were in the infield, it didn't do anything funny. Okay.
Yeah, just at high speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's glue.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll work on glue then. Jeff, we cannot have two sets of tires.
Could you do
go ahead.
could you do does the person have to stay on the driver's stand for an hour at a stint?
No. We
So
could do
what
20
what
minutes.
you could do next time, what you do next time is you swap out drivers every battery change, and then everybody's fresh when they get up there.
That's a really good idea. Because after 30 minutes, both my hands and feet were numb.
Yeah, and it's pretty hard to concentrate and make good laps after 10 minutes.
I had tears rolling down my face and like snot in my beard. It was bad.
It's hard.
It is. I mean, you're doing the same lap over and over and over, and you're doing a couple hundred, and you think it would get easier, but it doesn't. It gets harder. And
if you do the person change, get like a dry erase board or something. Write everybody's name and then figure out a system so that everybody knows who's going up, who's going on the track, and who's doing mechanic duties and what they're doing for those duties.
The only tough part is, well, it would just be a rotation like off the. The only tough part is where the driver's stand is and where the pit road is and where you have to empty the driver's stand. It's a full loop around the track, kind of.
Also,
you
don't run, but I mean,
No, we could get it done in a minute and a half for sure. But I mean, we work very well together as a team.
It's good.
I'm glad Shu talked me into it. And then Brandon and Matt each did one more hour of stint because let's face it, Matt's the one who was leading the race in the beginning. Matt's a faster driver than everybody on the team.
Wow.
Yeah. And there were some heavy hitters there.
Who won?
I don't remember. I should look that up because,
I want to know the order of the teams. There's 16 teams. I'd like to know who's on the teams.
So we got Team Topeka, and I want to say that was Eric Jones, maybe.
Okay.
Then we
There's
got
no
Team,
list anywhere.
not of names. Then we got
Oh.
Team SBR Iowa. Team Ski. So that was Tim Ski, the on-road race director and one of the store managers. And that was Ronnie Wint, and they had another guy. Then they had Team AB Speed. That was Aaron Bonner and Chris Bangle from Minnesota and another guy. There were, I can't remember all the, like I had a buddy there that I hadn't seen in years that I didn't even realize he was there because I was in my own world.
Yeah. Next time you guys need to have 4 people building that car to get a little practice in, a little tuning in.
Yep, definitely. But so we had 8 minutes of missed laps. We got 1,047 laps. And that 8 minutes, we did the math, that 8 minutes would have put us within 1 lap or ahead 1 lap of 4th place.
Okay.
Oh, Alex is saying it was Dustin Thompson that won. But that transponder thing was our issue, and that's one thing we need to make bulletproof. Speaking of, dude, so I was out there with Team Ski, and they put in a fresh battery, and I immediately started screaming to tech his car. I felt bad at the end of it because it was just, he's done so many of these. But it was about the 4th hour of the race.
Yeah.
And you could hear his car was pulling at least 1,000 more RPMs than the rest of us. Like his car was making a way different pitch.
Did you guys? So you couldn't heat the batteries at all?
Couldn't heat the batteries. We were allowed dischargers, but we were not allowed heaters. But we ran them so low. I agree. I totally agree. But we ran them so low that we ain't use a discharger.
No. What did they come off at when you were done?
6970.
Oof. I mean, you could go a little lower, but you got to charge them back up. You got 2 batteries. How many did you get?
We got 3.
3 would have been enough. You could have discharged and heated
Yeah.
those batteries. Did you charge them a little bit and then you discharge them and then you charge them?
No, I just hit them at.
I know. But that's what you.
Yep. I'll do that next time. I tried hitting them at 25 amps, and they didn't like that.
No. How
I was able to hit them at 19.5 amps consistently.
What connector did they have on them?
Deans.
They didn't have a Deans. They had the T connector. Can you use a Deans?
It was a Deans. It's a T connector.
Was it black?
No.
It was a T connector, not a Deans.
Okay.
Big performance difference.
Okay. Chris is wondering, was there a cow on the car? No. Guess what? Dude, that cow would have provided some protection at least. But dude, it was a lot of fun. Now I have my gears are turning for next year already. Matt Olson's gears, everybody's like, all right, now that we know what we screwed up, because the last hour and 20 minutes, we had a broken C-hub. You know what? I should pull up pictures because we had a busted C-hub in the crap, my microphone's screwed up. Sorry guys. There we go. We had a busted C-hub and we were running 3-wheel drive. I'm working on pulling this up. Sorry guys.
Rookie mistakes. So
totally.
while you pull this up,
yep.
So Anthony, the reason I'm not racing probably for another month is the nearest track is 5 hours away from me.
But you're gonna have something.
I'm going to try and go race before then.
God, I hope you get some. I'm hoping that. All right, there's a good picture right there. I'm gonna pull that one up. Let me get. Oh my God, the bottom, my whole. Oh, I'm still getting used to this new laptop, and my whole like bottom menu situation is so screwed up. All right, so share screen. I'm working on it. So, because we had a busted C block. Look at that right front.
Oh,
That was an hour and 20 minutes of driving with the busted right front C hub and getting negative and positive camber and 3-wheel drive instead of 4-wheel.
I was gonna say you can see it started to eat the bumper.
Yep. We weren't dragging no parts, so it's like, dude, we're not hurting the carpet. We gotta finish. Um, Jason ran up and bought the part real quick, but then we're talking to Matt when he's driving. It's like, do you want us to replace it? He's like, it's not worth the time saved, or it's not worth the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy's wondering, could you shoot a bit of oil in the bushings on the motor every now and again? We oiled it at the start of the run, and then we shot it with motor cleaner a couple times. But yeah, dude, Jason just does a phenomenal job at photography. And you really, because that was deep into the race, you really can't see that much glue left on that front tire.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta clean them. You can re-glue them. There's enough time to do some stuff while you're changing the battery.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit. Yeah, Jason does an awesome.
Whoa!
Dude.
Look at those bodies.
Yeah, so everybody's giving me crap, which they should. But I mean, we were average. You know, some people had their spoilers still. Not
probably
that one.
helps.
I don't know. You know, I asked Matt, I'm like, do you notice a difference? He's like, no.
Sometimes it does on the VTA cars when we did that.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers.
Yep,
But if that's not doing anything anyway, like it's.
Yep. So we ran our body loose. We ran the body pins all the way up. Look at that front. Dude, it's so
part of that's because the body pins were so far up.
Yep, definitely. That's
I don't think you should have ran them that far up.
Oils and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, you can see how you can see the
bus. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, the bumper on the other side doesn't look that bad.
Yeah. So Jason got to bring home a car that only had one race day on it.
Oh, go back.
That's what I imagine when I hear.
Hold on, can you not use adapters next time?
So that adapter, that was a mistake that we did. So Jason had a bunch of XT60 connector batteries that were legal. So we had one battery with the T connector, and we had two batteries with the XT60. And yeah, we weren't aware of all the rules. So next time it will be Dean's own or T connector only.
Yeah, if you can get the ones with the solid connectors, those are good. Or you can use a genuine Dean's connector instead of the cheap T connectors. Yep. Those are even better than XT60 connectors. But that's also not helping.
Yeah, but so our car was equal speed-wise to everybody else's, except for the one. But that one.
Well, it's more about that's just fade. That's just wasting resistance. Is all that is.
Yeah, I mean, that car is just. Look at the rear tires. You have the.
Yeah.
Dude, it was fun.
I wish I was there.
It's gonna be a highlight of my year for sure. And it's got me thinking for next year. I mean, we
got to move on because we're 30 minutes on this.
Sorry, but it was a great.
You're good, but I mean, we want to talk about other things, so we got to move on.
Yeah, we finished 7th overall out of 16 teams. So, all right, so that was the race that was under promised and over delivered. Now let's talk about a race that was over promised and under delivered.
Sure. Which one?
The TNR Challenge, which is very disappointing to me.
So why was it disappointing?
Well, the reason it was disappointing, when he opened up signups, he's like, everybody's going to get all the track time. There's going to be 4 rounds of qualifying, all that other stuff. in this race is super famous for the raffles, the prize. Like Seth Van Dalen won $2,200 there. So awesome for Seth, definitely. But they cut qualifying in half, and they screwed up. So that really screws up qualifying for everybody.
Well, because instead of going they were doing 2 out of 4.
Yep.
They did 1 out of 2.
Yes.
Everyone had one decent run. That would have hugely changed qualifying.
Yes. No, at that
even
point,
if you did 2 out of 3.
Yeah, at that point, do you change it to rocket round?
I think you would have to. You should, yeah. I think that was, but I mean, realistically,
there's a big difference between 1 out of 2 qual points and rocket round. Big difference.
And I think realistically that there shouldn't have been a problem with that. Like I don't know who does the TNR race, but like Joey does 1,000 at the dirt or at DNC, which forgive me on that one. PNB last year almost had 1,000 entries. There's lots of races that have a ton of entries.
Yes.
That can do this program Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and get done in a reasonable time on Sunday.
Yes.
So
now the thing about it is, so it's one of the largest events. Well, it won't be next year. It will not be. They don't have media coverage of any kind. I don't know who was race directing, and I'm not going to say from who, but I heard horror stories. I heard horror stories about delays. I heard horror stories about, the dude screwing people over. I don't know how in qualifying. He was just a cheap, inexperienced, junky race director, because he's like, well, I mean, a good race director is going to cost you money, and that doesn't seem like he's into getting the entries. He's into getting the pros, but he's not into spending the money to make it into a great event.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the infrastructure to do that. So you need, at that level, you need media coverage. You need a quality race director.
Yes.
And there are plenty of like regional quality race directors out there that could do an event like this if they're experienced. Like, I'm sure Alex does a great job from the Hobbyplex.
Alex on here, everybody knows Alex, and Alex won in charge an arm and a leg. And Alex is one of the better race directors in the country.
And he doesn't do large events, is all I mean by that. He's not a Lance or a Scotty or you could have probably got Jared Barden. He would have done, or Baird. I don't know how, whatever. He's an on-road. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that do this that are good, and they get paid to do it for a reason.
Yes, but they also won't cost you, Scotty or Jimmy Babcock prices.
That's true.
They'll do a fantastic job, and they'll probably do it for a fraction.
I mean, if you do it for, like, let's say, I don't know, we'll just throw out a number for Scotty. We'll say $2,000 for the weekend, and plus room and okay, $4,000. But if you say $2,000 for an not inexperienced, but not a Scotty level race director, you can cut your costs in half for that and get a quality person that's just not doesn't have the reputation.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So I charge a little different than other race directors. After room and board, I charge $3 per entry per day. So if I'm doing 3 full days, it's $9 an entry. If I'm doing 2, it's $6, and that way they can bake it into the entry fee. They're not losing. It would have
been a pile of money for this event.
Oh, dude. And again, that's one of the reasons. let's say it's a crap
Most,
turnout. Well, they're not
yeah,
losing 2-3 grand. They're only losing whatever if it's a crap turnout. But now that was over 700 entries. That would be
yeah,
a
but
good payday.
I mean, on the same side of it, Joe. I mean, you're not a bad race director, but I don't know that. Have you ever done anything over a couple hundred
Yes.
entries? Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
but I mean, that's so you might be that might be you. That might be you could pitch it next year. Be like, hey, room and board plus 2 grand.
Um, not for that one. Oh, I am
What?
after. I know what you mean, and that's what I do pitch. But no, um, I mean somebody else could, but I'm not going down that particular road. Yeah,
I can understand.
yep. Alex is talking about yeah, he's gonna be bringing in mod coverage for the ProTech race, and he's gonna be race directing the hell out of it. He's gonna be turning that. I have a feeling that's gonna go from a regional to a national event within either this year or next year.
What? When is that? And what is it?
It's in April, and he holds it it's a 1/10 scale. It's either the week before or the week after Easter. I cannot remember ever.
That's
But
okay. I got PNB, so I was curious. I was gonna try to attend something, but April's really busy for me. So
yeah, April's super busy for but so normally it's between a 200 and 300 entry race. But
pretty good.
I've attended quite a few myself, and I've had so much fun at them because, and again, bang for your buck, you get so much track time, and Alex runs an awesome program. You, you don't get screwed at every corner. That's all.
Yeah.
I want to race my RC car in a fairway. That's what I want, and that's what you get.
Yeah, and it depends on the caliber of race you're going to, right? Like some events that are more prestigious, like an IFMAR event, you're
Yep.
not gonna have um as much track time,
Yep.
practice time as other events, like a P&B or a indoor champs where you get a lot of practice.
Yeah, and that's understandable at larger events, but when your promised practice time is cut in half and your qualifiers are cut in half and you spent the money you spent, I mean, it just wasn't
Pile of
California.
money.
I mean, it costs 3 grand to go to an event that size.
I bet it's more than that.
Probably.
I bet it's 3 grand to get there, pay your race entry,
Yep.
hotel, food, and that
Yep.
doesn't include like tires or parts or anything.
Yeah. Alex is saying the ProTech race is April 26th. It's been that since 2014. I don't know why I had Easter stuck in my head for that one. But anyways, it's the weekend of April 26th.
Go
Chris is
check out
wondering,
Alex's track,
yeah.
the Hobbyplex in Omaha.
Chris is wondering, am I going? Yes, I am. I am working at Chris. I might have a vehicle ready as well.
Oh, right, because you'll be in mod.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Chris is just I think Chris is being Chris. But and that's the thing too. And I don't want to harp on it, but you know what? And a lot of people went to the TNR challenge. Do SIC better bang for the buck all day long.
Well, not only that, but so Lance is there, or I assume
Yep.
Lance is doing Dave's events. Dave
I want to
being
say yes. I think it's the full coverage elite crew.
right. So you get race time entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You get elite productions with that. So you have a good, you're gonna have a good facility.
Yes.
Which the TNR was a good facility.
Oh,
but then you also have you're gonna have good coverage and you're going to have good announcing.
Yes.
Right? Lance does a good job. He's pretty fair. And yeah, I mean, everyone has their things that they don't like about certain race directors, but you
Sure.
can't fault Lance for being inexperienced or say he's wasting time. He runs a very good program.
Definitely.
It's no problems there. And so there was that, and that Lance and Dave can hold 1,000 entry event.
Mm-hmm.
PNP last year. This year, I have no idea what's going to happen because it's Easter weekend. Either it's going to be packed or it's going to be empty. I just not empty, but not as well attended.
Yes. I mean, Easter for even for I mean, since the kids stopped believing in the Easter bunny, it doesn't matter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Oh, RC Victory Lane saying he thinks Dave has a contract with Elite for all 4 events this year. Yeah, and that also brings consistency to his events.
Mm-hmm.
Austin checking in. But that's the thing though, and you know, a lot of this, dude, did the race even happen? There was no coverage. There's nothing to watch.
For a big event like that, it's kind of, you get past 300 entries and it's kind of expected now that you guys have coverage.
Yes.
Like,
And I'm not telling, you know, I'll tell you what. If you were to talk to Matt Olson and then you talk to Brandon and then you talk to Elite and you get them all to quote you an event, they're a bit more reasonable than you would think.
I
And
bet it's probably a few grand.
it
Probably like
depends on what
6.
with Mod, it depends on what coverage you want. He's got 3 different tiers. He's got one where he just sets up a camera, like it's a moving camera, but he sets up a camera and he pipes in like the audio for the race director. And then he's got a couple of other things. Alex is saying his wife would be pissed if he went to a race on Easter. You know, some are.
And some aren't. Some people are don't do anything on Easter, and some people
Like
do. And so I don't
there
know.
were a few people that didn't go to the Clash this year because it was on New Year's. To me, New Year's, I don't care. Some
Yeah.
people still, you know, do the whole thing.
I mean, I think there was a couple reasons the Clash wasn't as well attended as it it was in previous years, and I think most of it has to do with the schedule.
Yeah, there was
Some of
a
it
hit
was
limit.
some of it was the timing wasn't great, but like that's hit or miss.
Yeah, what the heck? I gotta look at something here. All right. Austin was wondering if I can mount 6 sets of tires. No, Austin. You know what? I'll charge you $20 a set and there is no bead guarantee. He's wondering if I'll mount his tires.
$20 a set's cheap. That's what I was gonna pay a local guy to do them. I was like, deal, because it takes me an hour to mount up a set.
Oh, dude, it took so long to mount up those two. So I was really happy. And I'm gonna get a set of these for my toolbox going back to the enduro. Jason has these little teeny tiny, like they're like thin scalpel things, but they're like a spoon or a flat deal. I had to use those to get the bead over the deal. Trevor's saying nobody wants to mount 6 sets. Oh man. Yeah, Austin's gearing up for Island. I'm gearing up for Island as well. I still got to purchase tires. But what's nice is Island has that new carpet and it's from what I've heard from pros, it's very easy on tires.
Let me tell you right now how many tires I have glued, put together
Yep.
in the last year.
Yeah.
This many.
0.
0. Let me tell you how many times I did it last year. This many times.
Yeah. Jacob can't wait for Island either. Austin, it's either Nessie's in the rear or Fuzz Bites backwards. That's what it is. Yeah, we'll talk about that one. We might not be able to. I'm trying to do all the math in my head. I'm like, all right, today's the 2nd. I think we're gonna do one episode before Island. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that in that episode. So, anyways,
when is the Island race?
Island's the weekend of February 20th. That's the Iowa Champs.
I think we might get one more.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. So Mod is gonna be working the event, but they don't. I'm not gonna be working with Mod.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, no, I know it's like I said, there's tier levels, and they ain't, get but they're gonna have coverage, and it's gonna be an awesome event. Everybody's so excited for it.
Cool. Well, tell.
We'll
I'm
talk
sure I've
about
said
that.
this again, but tell Tom I said hi.
Oh yeah, I'll tell both Toms. Chris is wondering what. Chris, I'll text you later. So I got a couple more things. I want to hit the MNRC schedule that was just released. But before you know, I just lost my damn train of thought, dude. Holy crap. This, I mean, I got a nap and I'm feeling good, but I'm still not where I need to be. You know what I mean?
You're just getting old, Joe. It's okay.
100%.
It's okay.
So the MNRC is a series. I don't race anymore, but I love it. It's the Minnesota Nitro Series. It's a They don't call it the Nitro Series anymore, but it's an A scale series. And they added an event this year.
For fit scale?
No.
Is that where you're going at? Okay.
No. Oh, hold on. I don't know if that's right. Never mind. Oh, here we go. All right. So the MNRC, the first race is going to be May 16th, 17th at Skyview RC Park. I believe that's closer to southern Minnesota. Then there Loose Nuts, June 20th, 21st, FTR, that's Sean Van Dalen's track, and Sean also runs the MNRC now. That's July 18th, 19th. And then LSRCC is not confirmed, August 22nd and 23rd. And then September, you got Rick's Hobby Farm. In October, Southern Minnesota RC Raceway. And it's a fun series because it's inexpensive and it's a full weekend event. It's a great regional feel. You're not losing your rear end and all that. So
Sorry, I was doing phone stuff.
no, you're fine. You're fine. And yeah, Sean's actually trying to make his own media company as well. But I got my start in race directing with the MNRC back in 2009. And I've learned
Did you have hair back then?
Kinda.
Should have shaved it a while ago.
I should have shaved it. I don't even know how. Chris is wondering who will he talk to at Island. I'll still talk to Chris. Well, I won't have a headset on. I should just put a headset on to chirp in Chris's ear. Anyway, well, Matt has 6 headsets. There's not going to be 6 people there. I could just put a headset on and chirp in Chris's ear the whole time. Distract him. I got an email from you just now. That's sweet.
I did, yeah. So I sent you. So can we pull that up?
I have to. Oh man, is there a way you can send it to my PM? I'm not signed in to my email on this laptop.
Yes.
So while we're waiting for that, Team Associated announced the vintage race. It's going to be at the Orleans again. It's going to be September 2nd through September 6th at the Orleans. It's a bit earlier this year. It's, the week before Labor. I kind of understand why they did it the way they did it. Except for, let me pull that up. Except for my kids usually start school the week after Labor Day. But because Labor Day is so late this year, they're starting the week before. I don't know if other schools are doing that as well. But all right.
We have our
We're,
first interview with the preschool tomorrow for Ivory.
ooh,
Yeah. See how
that's
it
gonna
goes.
be. Oh, dude, it'll go fine, and then
Well, it's more where we want to put her, not if she's good for them.
yep, I got you. All
So,
right,
can you start with the
I'm
shirt?
working on it. I'm working on it. Yep,
Oh, okay.
I'll let me
Very good.
slide over to the shirt. Oh,
Um,
that's the wrong way.
so I've been
Uh,
working on a couple things behind the scenes
yep.
at DRC here, and I've had a design done for a little while now
Mm-hmm.
from Mike Garrison at Bloom Graphics, but I just haven't found. I had a nice T-shirt printer, and I just couldn't get them to take my money, so I've been
Okay.
looking around and been trying to find somebody who would do what I wanted and do a quality job, and then make sure it's on a nice shirt, because I
Yep.
don't know if you guys know or not, but I don't like just crappy T-shirts that
Yeah.
have like this big patch on them, and it's kind of like it. Nobody. I don't like wearing it, so I don't would assume other people don't like wearing it either. So this is the new DRC T-shirt. I should have them by the end of the week, maybe. I haven't
Ooh.
got them up on the website yet, but I'll have medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X, and 4X in these shirts.
Yep.
With most of the shirts being large, extra large, and 2X.
Yep.
I also have.
Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
So I also have this design coming in on a hoodie. This is my first hoodie, so it's just a sample. I will have these available for pre-order, and I'll have a few in like large, extra large, and 2X, but not a ton.
Okay.
So, and then all the team drivers will get a free shirt, and then
Sweet.
they'll have to tell me what size they want, but they'll get a free hoodie as well. But I'm not having a bunch of leftover hoodies. The t-shirts I give away, they're relatively inexpensive compared to the hoodies. The hoodies are, I mean, they're close to $30 a piece. It's just
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
I love the
Um,
color fade on them.
it looks so good, and they did a lot of work. They did 6 or 7 iterations on the screen print to get it right, because they wanted to do a DTF, which looked great, but it kind of has that big patchy thing. Like, this is a screen print here,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not a big patch that's all over my chest, so it's nice to wear.
Yep.
And then the last one is a hat. So this is a flex fit hat, which was the favorite we did last time.
Yep.
This is going to be that full color, just like that, on the hat, offset to the one side. Um, and that'll look pretty good, I think. What do you think of the design, Joe? What do you guys think of the design? Do you like it?
Well, I love both designs. I like that you use the classic design with the color fade as well, and you make that one solid color. I do like this DR. That is so cool. But you didn't ditch the old design. That's what I like as well. So you have both designs.
Yeah, so I like shirts that have like that say Donphan or C on them, but don't look like this, because I think that's kind of cool to make it like when I go to a racetrack, people don't realize I'm wearing a sponsor, like my sponsor shirt,
Mm-hmm.
unless they start to realize it. It looks like a regular shirt that's kind of cool, and so that's kind of where the little DRC is. I kind of wish I would have a little one on here, but um, I like shirts that are just different that people would actually wear and they look cool, and so that's like what I go for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
dude, these are awesome. I like them a lot. I can't wait to get mine.
Good, yeah. So I'll have these soon. They shipped today, so yeah.
Things have been pretty delayed lately. And again, like I said in the beginning of this, my B7.1 was delayed a day or two.
Mm.
Also, I know you've had these for a while, these heater bags, but I
Right.
finally got mine in the mail today. And dude, I really
Did you have that on the whole time?
no, I unplugged it.
Okay. So yeah, the new bag is awesome. It's
Yeah.
it's got a button that's pressed on.
It's so hard to see, but it's like heating up right now, and it's telling me the temperature as it's heating up. So I have it on 60 degrees Celsius, and then I'm watching the temperature climb up
So
too.
yeah. So about the heated lipo sleeves. So the temperature, there's an actual temperature probe in there
Yep.
that is not attached to the elements, but is next to the elements. That reads the
Okay.
temperature of the elements. So, and to get the battery to like 100 degrees, you got to set the elements 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You got to set the elements to 60 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
So without putting a probe directly on that battery, and I tried that, and it breaks. The little wire in there breaks
Yep.
really easily, and there's not a good way to do it to get it protected. Like if you had a probe that like attached to the battery and you slid it into a dock and then it was good, like that's great, but it's not how we do things. Everyone's quick and easy.
Yep.
So, but everyone knows numbers and all that. It's powered off a Type C. We had a batch there for a little while. So the first batch we got in was needed to be powered off of an adapter or a dumb USB-C port because they were made different from the samples that I spent a lot of money on to be wrong. Which is the whole point of samples, is to get things
Yep.
right, or so I don't have to deal with this. So we just got the new batch in. Live RC announced it today. I'm sure the other news organizations will announce it maybe tomorrow. Some of them were a little the timing is what they want.
Sure.
So, but yeah, they work really good. This is the hottest selling sleeves since I have got them in, even with the USB A.
Yep.
So far, I've had them. I don't know, maybe a month or so, maybe a little over a month now, and I've
Yep.
sold 150.
Yeah, and this isn't we've been barely talking after I plugged it in for we haven't even been talking about for 5 minutes. It's up to 60 already. Super
So,
quick.
yeah. Well, you'll have to let me know how you like it, Joe.
Oh yeah. And then
Well, you
you
had the whole.
yeah, then you long press to switch it from 40 to 50 to 60.
Yeah, you can tap it, and then if you hold it again, it shuts off.
Yeah. So I'm super pumped to try those out. Austin's wondering, am I gonna run 3 classes at Island? Yes. We were talking about that actually. So I was testing out. I'm talking to those guys about running mod truck because they're like, dude, you're already running 40 plus mod. Why don't you run mod truck? I'm gonna put a 13.5 in my 2-wheel, and in my 4-wheel, I'm just gonna boost up the 13.5 a little bit. But the 13.5 in the truck runs so hot that I can't do anything to it. So I've been looking for a motor. I thought I had an 8.5. I only have a 7.5. So I'll just turn it down or whatever. But right before the podcast started, I had a 10.5 that I had back in like 2020, 2021 that I was running in mod truck that was good back in those days. It was a R1 V16. It's coming in at 17.5 numbers. That's what an old, like 4 or 5-year-old 10.5's coming in at.
You still could have ran it and just turned it up. It would have, when you take your speed control out of Blinky, it's a lot less hard on the motor.
True. Well, and the 13.5's still in the truck. I'm just contemplating, like, because that's 7.5. Oh my God. So for example, like, well, our viewers, I'll turn a 13.5 up on my Tunelizer to 4 amps, and it will turn 24,000 RPMs. And then I will turn the Tunelizer with the 7.5 red lines at 2.6 amps at 34,000 RPMs.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it's
that
like,
has to do with the total amp draw.
yeah, but it's like, holy fucking power
Well,
difference.
turn the timing down on the can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn it down to like 30, 35. More?
Yeah. If you're worried about power, start at like 22.
Okay, okay. Chris is wondering, is my son coming to Island? Depends. He had a great first semester. Guess what? We're 2 weeks into the second semester, and that kid's screwing up left and right. So, yes, maybe, but if he oh, dude, if he keeps screwing up the way he's screwing up, yeah. But before we start talking about shirts, we're talking about the team associated vintage race coming up. This is going to be the one to go to. They have Jimmy Babcock doing the announcing this time. Mod's going to be doing the coverage again.
When is it?
September 2nd through the 6th. But to me, where vintage is
Dang.
right, yeah, where vintage is right now, I think this is going to be the peak. I mean, I could be wrong. And the outdoor series that's happening, and the slow progression of loose off road, these re-releases now have a place to race because it's cool to take your RC10 re-release out on carpet, but it does not drive correctly.
The cars now don't drive correctly. Are you kidding me?
They drive pretty good. Yeah, you're
They don't
right.
drive that good.
They're not 100% right.
They don't drive like a touring car or a 12 scale. It's not pretty good. Like, it's not. There's so much room for development, and there's just no development.
But the problem is touring car, you have 5 millimeter ride height, 12 scale, you got 3 millimeter. You need at least 14 with a buggy, two-wheel
That's
buggy.
not the shocks are not the problem here. And you don't need that ride height. You need better dampening and better design.
That's true. But yeah, so this drink right here, that was from the 2025 vintage championships from Team Associated. I've been handing out a few of those cans to people I've been seeing that really dig them. Then
is that just an empty can?
This one is actually
are there ones with things that what is there a drink in there or something?
So actually, these are better than an American energy drink. Let me read the ingredients to you. It's carbonated water, it's sugar, carbonated apple juice, vitamin C, honey syrup, taurine, nico, whatever, comprehensive vitamin B group, citric acid, sodium. It doesn't have all the terrible ingredients in it. And it actually says it has a shelf life to it. So it does expire. It expires January 3rd, 2027.
It's still a long shelf life.
Oh yeah, but it's not like
a beverage like that.
Yeah, but so where it was made, they actually have laws about how things are made. So you can't do it the American style because those were made in Taiwan, I believe. I believe it was Taiwan.
That's so weird that it's cheaper to get something made in Taiwan, like something heavy like that.
And better for you.
Well, it's so heavy, and it's like, imagine having a shipping container full of those. It's got to be, tons and tons of them.
Yes.
Literally. It's not like an RC car kit with a box. Like, that takes up a lot of space, and it's not relatively that heavy.
A case the dimensions are a little different, but a case is about the size of an RC car box.
That's what I'm saying, but there's like 24 cans in that case.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's heavy for sure.
Yeah. Or 36. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I
believe. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's a little weird. Like, it's cheaper to do that than, I don't know. Pepsi and Coke can do it.
Yeah. So one thing I've been noticing, and I've been noticing this, I'm part of a bunch of vintage groups on Facebook. Speaking of, and we'll end on this because it's more of just a thought I've had.
Okay.
Vintage is super popular with 10 scale and below. But with A scale being the premier class out there, A scale, everybody agrees that it's, well, not agrees, but it's general consensus that A scale nitro is the Formula One of RC.
I would say it's probably the most difficult to do everything well,
Yes.
especially because the mains are so long.
Yes. Yes.
It's probably like the most difficult all around. I don't know that you have like the best doing it because like there could be arguments for other classes. Also, the only vintage class that's doing anything right now is 10 skill off road.
Right. But what I was going to say though, well, you have a lot of collectors of the on road stuff, the 10 scale on road and the 12 scale on road. You have a lot of collectors. You don't have a lot of racers, but you have a lot of collectors.
Okay. All right.
So there's a lot of shelf queens sitting out there. But you do not have any A scale nitro. Like, you would think that, especially these money hungry guys, what was it? 21 classes at TNR for 4 cars?
Yes. Ridiculous.
21 classes for 4 cars. You're telling me that you don't think a vintage ace and a vintage ace scale might not do well, because we don't see people restoring them in record numbers. We don't see Dragon Punch RC making parts for them.
I mean, that's a pretty. I know they're getting bigger, but that's a pretty small company, and to just focus on one genre, like it's hard to do 2 genres.
I mean,
And
I
then
just
other ones also.
Yeah, I just use them as an example. There's so many, vintage reproduction part companies out there.
That's fair.
You don't see anybody making parts for an old Jammin or an old MP 7.5 or any of that.
I think if the manufacturers started coming out and supporting these kits again, like they're doing with the 10 scale kits, I think those companies would show up if the demand was there from the racers.
Yes, but what came first with the vintage off-road? The demand came first and was there consistently for a while.
And now you have to kindle that into the next thing, because this is gonna die. Like, this is not sustainable how things have been going. And I think there's a spot for vintage RC in RC. I just don't think it's what it is right now.
I don't think it's going to die because vintage has been, it's not going to sustain this level. Nothing sustains this level.
Right. It's like we're looking at drag racing right now.
Right. Except we're nurturing it a little bit better.
That's true. That's true.
And the crappy thing about drag racing is drag racing started out super cool. I'll die on this hill. When drag racing really died is when they were running below 2.0 second runs.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're down to they're still running them and it's still a thing.
It's like 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2 at like over 100 mile an hour. I'm like, that's faster than a purpose-built trade car.
Yeah. It should be, but yeah.
Yeah, but they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
But we're nurturing it and we're holding events and we have rule sets.
The rules are big.
Yeah, I wish they were a little tighter. But
yes, I agree.
And I've been coming around. So last episode we talked about the big bore thing. And I'm like, well, big bore should be allowed. But then I'm thinking again, in all these repop kits, they come with the original 10 mil shocks or whatever they had back in those days. So it's not like we're hurting for shocks. I might be coming around even on the shock issue.
Like, I know the new shocks handle better.
Yes.
The old shocks didn't handle that bad. For what they are,
No,
like
they didn't handle bad at all.
that's I bet, but that's what I'm saying. So like, quit bastardizing these kits with all these like modern parts. Like we're already doing like the kits a favor by putting modern materials with the old design.
Sure, sure.
And again, I think good bearings, good ball cups,
Yep.
and ball ends if need be
Yeah.
to make those work. I think that's legitimate. There's a couple problem parts from those kits
Yeah.
that I could see getting addressed.
Well, the ball cups aren't performance enhancing. They're
Right.
just reliability.
And ball bearings are, but like it's nobody wants to run bushings.
But
Bushings
there
suck.
were also we all had ball bearing. I started racing 88 and my cars had ball bearings.
Okay, so there, problem solved. So
They
it's
were
just my
so expensive back in the day too. Like a
yeah.
bearing kit for an RC10 back in the late 80s, early 90s was like $85 in that time money.
And you know what? I bet they cost like $10 for the whole kit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
I didn't learn about the bearing scam until eBay came along. And with a scale on road, you went through a lot of bearings.
mhm.
And I found a company that it's like, dude, this is the exact same bearing that comes in the Serpent kit, and they're charging $1 a bearing. So yeah, it was definitely a scam back in the because you needed bearings.
Mhm.
Definitely needed them. I'm coming around though. I mean, if it's but the competitive side of me says, well, if they allow big bores, I'm going to run the big bores. But if they do decide to go back to the small bores, I don't hate it. Every Losi at that vintage championship, even the ones that made the A mains, had the regular bore shocks on.
I think that's cool. I think
Yeah,
that's way cooler than big bore shocks.
they
And
could have put
like
the modern Losi shocks.
and I think that like companies like Drag and I don't mean to disparage like Dragon Punch, but we'll just take them as an example. I met the people, they're very nice people, there's nothing wrong with like the things, but like they're doing I think I saw like a carbon fiber chassis, the tub chassis now, instead of like the aluminum one. And then like we're getting into like these weird areas where like you're making performance enhancing parts for vintage cars, like because it's in the rule set. Like it would be cool if you made like kind of like I'll take J Concepts just as an example. They make parts for a variety of cars. I know they're gonna
Mhm,
make. And we went over this like last time. They're gonna make the shock rings and then the shock bottoms, so you can bling your car out. They're
mhm.
going to make a servo holder. They're going to make a motor plate. They're going to probably make some A, B, C, D blocks, whatever blocks for the pivots. Um, they're going to make some. I don't know what else. What you would know better than me, but they're going to have like a battery holder. Everyone's going to
Yeah,
have a battery holder. Um, and that's cool. Like I think that's great because like different designs do function better, but it's like a battery holder doesn't really affect the performance of the vehicle,
right.
even if it moves it forward or backwards. Like yeah, okay, it affects the performance, but like you're not changing the car. You could
Yep,
two-way tape that battery and where that battery holder is, and it would still do the same thing.
yep.
Um, you're just doing it like in a prettier way or
Mhm.
something to that effect. Like so, I think like that stuff should be allowed. Like battery holder, accessory parts. But like when we get to the performance enhancing stuff, I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know we did this last time too, but
I know, but I have to say I'm coming around to your side more and more
so.
on
All right,
the
Joe, you ready to
yeah.
cut
I'm
this?
just saying though, I'm so pumped. I mean, it's coming up in September, that vintage race. I'm already pumped for it. We're in February,
I
barely.
wish I could go. I'm gonna be on vacation with the family, so I told them
Yeah,
I go. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going.
yeah, awesome. All right, well, yeah, man, We didn't have a big list tonight, and we still went for quite a while.
Dude, we could talk forever. We did this. We did the same thing at Dollar. We just talked and talked and talked and talked, and we just talked, man.
Oh, real quick, Jeff's wondering. He goes, "Who broke the most parts, and why was it you for the Enduro?" Actually, we didn't. We were like right in the middle of the road for everything. And he also said, sign up for the icebreakers are coming. He needs to order shirts and trophies. So sign up for the icebreaker, guys.
When is that?
The weekend of like March. Shit. It's coming up in a month. Early first weekend of March. Matt Campbell is doing off-road.
That's an off-road? Yeah.
Off-road. Matt Campbell's doing the race directing. I'm super pumped for it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And again, I get to sit and I get to run 3 classes and I get to chill in the pits with friends. I might run 3 classes. We'll see what the turnout's like. I might only run 2. We got to look at turnout. It's going to be truck, and then it's funny that 2 wheels become my third class. It went from first to third, but anyway,
it happens when you get older.
It is. All right. Well, I'm Joe Zer Jr., and with me has been my co-host Zach Donathan, and we have ran out of talent. Have a good